Assalamu alaikum and good morning children. How are you? Today we are discussing the chapter punctuation of your grammar. This is on page number 34. So first we will come to the definition. So children, in this chapter we will first define what is punctuation and then types of punctuations. That means what are the marks we used in a sentence, that is called types of punctuation. Then we will do exercise A, B and C. This we will do in book on page number 36. Okay. Yes, so definition, what are punctuation? We use punctuation marks in sentences so that we may understand them clearly, like capital letter, full stop, comma. These are all called punctuations. So now we will come to the types. How many types? There are 7 types of marks we use in a sentence. Number 1 is capital letter. It is on page number 34 of your book. So we use capital letter at the start of a sentence. The first alphabet is always capital. Remember this thing, student, because it will help you in all the classes, that first letter of a sentence always start with a capital letter. Then first letter of proper noun, example, name of any person, name of any city, like Quaid-e-Azam. Our leader is Quaid-e-Azam. Or we can say the capital city of Pakistan is Islamabad. So Pakistan and Islamabad are proper nouns. So we will write with capital letter. Then pronoun I is always written with capital. We never write I in small alphabet. Then name of days and months, like our class will start in April. So April is a name of month. We will write with capital letter. Then Sunday, name of a day. Today is Sunday. So we will write Sunday with capital letter. The first letter of each line of poem is mostly capital, not always, but it is mostly capital. If you read the poem, like we have done poem Daffodils, so if you see that poem, you can see that every line starts with a capital letter. I hope you understand that where we have to use capital letters. Now the second type is full stop. In punctuation, this is very important mark. We put full stop at the end of positive or negative sentence. Example, Hamid is my best friend. So after sentence friend, we have to put full stop. This is positive sentence. Then I am not hungry. Not, whenever we use not or no in a sentence, that means it is a negative sentence. We always put full stop after the sentence. Then number 3 is question mark. You know, when we write question answers in our copies, we put question mark at the end of the question. If in a sentence we ask question, then we put question mark at the end of a sentence. Example, where is your bag? Question mark. That means the person is asking a question to you. So we will put question mark. If question mark is not at the end of such sentence, then it is not correct. Then exclamation mark. We put an exclamation mark at the end of an exclamatory sentence or an exclamation word. Example, what a nice weather. Means if we want to say something which is strange or which is surprising, we use this mark. Wow, you have reached in time. Then comes comma. Then comes comma. We use comma to separate things in our list. For example, if we are using many items in a sentence, we put comma at the end of each thing. For example, I have a bag, books, pens, pencils and sharpeners. At the end, if we use and in the last thing, then we don't put comma before that. So we put comma after bag, book, pens. If you don't put the comma and you leave the sentence like this, I have a bag, book, pens, pencils and sharpeners, then it doesn't make a sense. The person who is hearing the sentence will get confused. But if you put comma and give a pause or stop for a while, then it makes a sense. So comma is also very important. Understand? We also use comma when we join two sentences with and, or, and, but. We use comma before them. Example, the land is brown, but the sky is blue. So these are two sentences. The land is brown. This is one sentence. So we put comma, but the sky is blue. And after the sentence, full stop. When yes or no are used at the beginning of a sentence, we put comma after then. Example, yes, I like blue color. After yes, you put comma and give a pause when you are reading. When we call someone's name, we put comma after the name. Example, Naveed, are you listening to me? If you don't put comma and read the sentence like Naveed, are you listening to me? It doesn't make any sense. Then comes inverted commas. Inverted commas are also called quotation marks. The British use single quotation mark, but the American use double quotation marks. You can see in your book. They are the same. Inverted commas, whether they are single or they are double. For example, the teacher said, open your books. So in a direct speech, we use inverted commas. The teacher said, comma, then what the teacher said, open your books. This is a direct speech. So we take these words in inverted commas. And the last is colon. A colon is used to introduce a list of items. Example, if you make tea, you need tea leaves, sugar, milk and water. So after each item, we put comma. For example, if you make tea, you need we put colon. Tea leaves, sugar, milk and water. Now children, open your book, page number 36. I will explain you the exercises, how you have to do. You have to do these exercises in your book only. For example, exercise A, correct the following sentences using punctuation. Number 1, I am a student. So the question mark is there after the sentence. But if you see, this is not a question, this is a statement. I am a student. So we will put full stop after the student, not question mark. So you will write in the line, I am a student, and after student you will put full stop, not question mark. Nasreen, will you go with me? So after Nasreen, this is a name, we will put comma. Nasreen, will you go with me? So like this you have to do till 8. Now exercise B, number 1, there is a bird on the branch. So first letter should be capital. Yes, very good. So T should be capital here. There is a bird on the branch. And if you see, there is no full stop at the sentence. So again we have to put full stop. So in this sentence you have to do two things. You have to make first word capital and full stop at the end of the sentence. Number 2, what are you drinking? So this is not a statement, this is a question. Yes, very good. What are you drinking? So there is no question mark at the end of this sentence. So when you will rewrite this sentence, you will put question mark at the end of the sentence. Like this, you complete this. Then exercise C, tick the correct option. Which is the symbol of comma? A, question mark, B, exclamation mark, C, this is comma, and D, full stop. So the correct option is C. Good. Like this you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So beta, we have finished the chapter punctuation today. I hope you understand and do the practice. Okay. And do these 3 exercises in your book. Allah Hafiz and take care. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, children. Today we will do modal verbs may and might, which is included in your first bi-monthly. This is on page number 129, chapter 38 of your book. So all of you please open your books so that we can go ahead. Now comes the definition. We use may or might to talk about the possibility of any work to be done. Means if we are sure that this work will be done, then we use may, and if we are not 50% or less than that percentage, we use might. If the possibility of any work to be done is equal or more than 50%, we use may. Example, we may win the match tomorrow. That means the possibility is greater. Then the next scenario will be, if the possibility of any work to be done is about 30% or less, we use might. Example, the same sentence we can write or say like this: we might win the match tomorrow. That means the person who is giving this statement is not very much sure that they will win the match. Might, shayad. Okay. We use these modal verbs in 3 types of sentences. If you open your book, page number 129, you can see these 3 headings written over there. First is possibility. Possibility, again, the person says whether he can or he might climb this tree. He may climb this tree. That means the possibility is greater. He might climb this tree. The possibility is less than 30%. यानी उसको बहुत यकीन नहीं है that he will climb this tree. So if the possibility is great,
greater than 50%, we use may, and if it is less, then we use might. The second sentence is permission. When taking or giving permission, we only use may. Example, in giving permission or taking, we don't use might. We only use may. For example, may I use your pen? May I come in? We don't say, might I use your pen or might I come in? So might is not used in sentences where we are giving or taking permission to do any work. Remember, we only use may in such type of sentences. Then wishes or prayers. The third type of sentence is when we pray for someone or have good wishes for someone. Again, we only use may, not might. In such type of sentences, we don't use might, we only use may. Example, may Allah help you. Means this is a prayer. This type of sentence is a prayer. So we are using may. May Allah help you. Next is, for example, if you have good wishes for anyone, you also say, may you win the match. In this type of sentences also, we don't use might. Understand? So you go through all these sentences which are given on page number 129 so that you can understand more clearly where you have to use may and where we have to use might. Understand, children? Okay, have a nice day.